So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the brand new icon player pick we should be getting today and the investments you can make for them and how the market is going to go and react. But before we do get away today's video, if you guys are interested, I do offer a trading service over on Twitch/Discord, and you can get it for free with Amazon Prime. All you got to do is subscribe over on Twitch. It'll either cost you £5, €5 or $6, or again, you can subscribe for free with Amazon Prime. So investments that have done very well in the Discord as of recently was yesterday in the Evo, again 1 minute after the Evo came out. We called to go and buy Gold Liao at 42 and then to go and sell him at 64, therefore utilising the kind of the peaks and the troughs of the pump and dumps post the Evo coming out. So it would have been a nice almost 20k profit there in about half an hour, which would have been very nice. And an investment that we also got a decent drop and rise on was Eder Militao, who we recommended buying at 83k. Well, in our luck, he actually fit an Evo, so we recommended selling him in the hype at 100k. Well, he actually crashed down to 80k after the Evo. So again, also using our knowledge to get you guys out of these investments before they get over-invested and crash after the SBCs come out. And there you go, you can see Liao's literally back down and Eder Militao's back down. So using kind of the expertise of the traders in the group to kind of pick the buy and the sell times. And again, the nice thing with that is it's a nice short period. On top of that, if you guys do need additional support, you can also subscribe over on Patreon, which gives you the ability to ask me and my trading experts questions throughout the day. But today's video, we are going to be talking about the brand new icon player pick that we should be getting today. It is a Sunday, and well, since Team of the Year Sundays mean we always get a brand new hero and a brand new icon SBC. And the nice thing that I'm sure you guys will be happy to know, it's not a pack. It is going to be another pick. And the reason we know it's going to be another pick is because if we look at the brand new packs that were added last week, which is they basically add the packs 1 week in advance, nothing there is about a brand new icon SBC. So because nothing there is about a brand new icon SBC, that means it's going to come out as a player pick because picks don't have to get added to the pack code. Now if we look at the progression on the recent ones, the progression we had was we went from a 3 out of 88 to a 4 out of 87. Meaning we're either going to get brand new players and they're going to make it lower ratings, maybe go back down to like a 3 out of 86 plus, but maybe they go and add Team of the Year icons, or maybe they go and add Ultimate Succession on, a promo that I'm not quite sure why they haven't added on already. Or what I expect us to go and get will be a 4 of 88 plus. Now the requirements for the SBCs really haven't been varying too much. They've always required an 89 for the last few, and then on top of that it's been like an 85 and 86 or an 86 and 87. There hasn't been too much variance in the requirements, and as a result there not being too much variance in the requirements, there are some nice investments that we can gamble on because of the consistency. So, for example, the only squad that really makes anything rise significantly is the 89 rated squad. And the reason that the 89 rated squad is the only squad that makes stuff rise is because the amount of players that you can put into that SBC is a lot less than the ones that are 85. Obviously, the combinations on building an 85 rated squad is endless. But when we move to like an 89 rated, there's probably only a pool of like 50 players that you can use in it because obviously there's way less 89 pluses than there is 85 pluses. For example, the cheapest way of building an 89 plus at the moment is using one 90 rated and a bunch of 89 rated. Interesting enough, some of the promo players, in fact. Now, obviously, when we do get more promo players that are high rated, like the Daily, like the Pickett, and like the Mahrez, it actually isn't as good for fodder because it means there is a bigger supply. Like I said earlier, the reason the 89 pluses do really well is because there might only be a supply of 50. Well, if a promo is adding like 5 or 6 players, starting to add more supply, meaning that players do rise less, but nonetheless, we still like it as an investment. So if I show you the fodder that went up last week for the upgrade SBC, you can kind of get an idea on why it's a nice investment. So what we saw is we saw 88s, and we've seen the same thing happen today so far. We saw 88s drop on the Sunday, down till around about midday, down to 16.5. Well, from the icon SBC and the other SBCs we had later in the week, they then rebounded from 16.5 up there to 18.5. Not bad. And we're seeing the same trend today where, at the beginning of the day they're about 16k, and well, they're already down to 14k, meaning the buy time on these is probably going to be very soon. We saw the same thing happen with 89s last week where they were 30k, they then went down to 27, and then they hit peaks at 33 later in the week. Again, we're already seeing trends of this with them already down from 27 down to just under 26k. 90s, we saw the same sort of thing there. We can look on the Sunday. We can see they got sold from 52 down there to 47. And then later in the week, again, it seems to be the time they seem to be peaking is kind of the Tuesday morning. So basically be selling Monday evening. yeah, we can see they went from 47 all the way up there to 60 in just like 48 hours, which is really nice. And also, again, we saw this sort of trend on the 91s. We saw on the Sunday morning there was 71. They then went and dropped there to 65. They then went and peaked Monday evening at 83k, which is really nice. And again, these are already down from 70k, not too crazy, down to 60k. And again, what did these drop on the Sunday? 52 down to 47. And so far, they've dropped 51 down to 49. So we're still anticipating a few more hours of these cards dropping, but as long as we're happy to gamble on there being an 89 rated squad, or if we're lucky, even higher, then they should be nice investments. Now, there is actually a really nice dual investment you can make in this, and that's, as I said earlier, kind of buying the promo players that have ended up being fodder. Especially as there is a Evo leaked that is called like Grassroots, and it won't fit gold cards. In theory, it will therefore just go and fit the promo cards. So we do quite like some of the, I think it's only 89s really. Some of the 89s as an investment. So obviously Pickett is both SBC fodder and she might go and fit an Evo. Mahrez is both SBC fodder and he might go and fit an Evo. I wouldn't really imagine Keane will go and fit it, but you could go and buy Keane because, again, there's like a bit of additional demand on someone like De Bruyne if they're going for the same price. So just a heads up on how you can kind of maximise the utility of your investment. You can go with people who have multiple routes on them being demanded. But yeah, that's fodder. Now, some of you might be interested in what about Team of the Weeks. Now, Team of the Weeks last week didn't really do that amazingly on the Sunday. We can see here, Sunday morning, they were one of the cheapest there were during the week. But with the upgrade SBC, they only went from 16k up there to 18k. It wasn't too bad. Actually, that was in the pre-hype, and then they went down. And they actually didn't do very well during the week. So you may wonder, because I actually think Team of the Weeks might be something we can invest in. So if they didn't do well last week, why do we recommend Team of the Weeks being an investment? Well, the reason we recommend Team of the Weeks being an investment is because over the weekend we've had a 5x84 pack. Now, what is the relevance of having a 5x84 pack? Well, this is repeatable 3 times a day and it requires a Team of the Week. Last week was the first week for 3 weeks which we didn't have an upgrade SBC over the weekend. Well, what does no upgrade SBC over the weekend mean? It means that Team Weeks aren't getting rarer, they're not getting put into SBCs. But because we're now back with an upgrade SBC over the weekend, even though it hasn't risen their prices over the weekend, what it has undoubtedly done is made Team of the Weeks rarer as they're put into SBCs. So actually, if we go back to the last Team of the Week where we had an upgrade SBC over the weekend and then we had an upgrade SBC midweek, we get to something like Petrovic. Now again, this card didn't rise over the weekend despite there being an upgrade SBC on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We can actually see they kind of bottomed out here on the Monday. Now, there wasn't anything too significant between the Sunday price and the Monday price, about 400 coins. But what we can see is when they were needed again on the Tuesday for the upgrade SBCs, they went from 16k up there to 24k. So what we can see is, again, even though we had upgrade SBCs over the weekend, they did really well because of how rare they were from how much they were being used over the weekend. Whereas Anton last week, because there were no upgrade SBCs over the weekend, we didn't really see any sort of significant rise. Again, it wouldn't have been that bad if you were to go and buy them at 16 and then go and sell them later in the week at 18.5. Just isn't crazy optimal and it isn't crazy return on investment. So again, we also do like buying Team of the Weeks today. You might be able to get away with waiting until tomorrow morning and then gambling that they're needed midweek. Obviously, if they're not needed midweek, they'll go down, but we've had upgrade SBCs needing Team of the Weeks midweek for I think 4 or 5 weeks in a row. So if you go off a favourable, or if you go off of a stat sort of take, then it's a decent gamble to go for. So Team Weeks, another thing you can look at buying. So that kind of covers the upgrade SBCs we expect to get both today and later in the week, and the investments you can go for them. We do anticipate the market, as always, dropping on the Sunday evening, Monday morning. So if you want to buy players for your team, Sunday evening, Monday morning is good. I'd say we don't have too much to worry about next week. Next week we're going into Foot Fantasy. Foot Fantasy is when we get cards, and if the team either gets 10 goals, I think it's 8 goals, or 3 clean sheets in the next few games, they get upgraded. But because they're cards that get upgraded, the base cards aren't normally the most desirable in the world, and because the base cards aren't that desirable, it means the previous few promos who base cards are quite desirable actually do quite well on the Friday. So I do think, Friday evening, Saturday morning will be a nice buy time with people selling off their teams for Weekend League, with people selling off their teams to go and afford the icon packs. I think we'll see a great rebound. Obviously, be aware Evos and SBCs can go and replace the demand on these special cards, but yeah, I think unlike maybe the last few weeks where Future Stars have had well-desirable base cards, Grassroots has had well-desirable base cards, I do think maybe for the next week or two we might see the market rise quite nicely with insane base cards, and the idea is what they get upgraded to is the insane card. Well, content we get which wasn't insane was Jota. I don't know what EA's weird, cruel obsession of releasing undesirable Jota SBCs is, but we'll probably do another one in 4 months, so prepare yourself. But yeah, the last one, what did it have? It had 1,600 downvotes, 800 upvotes. It was really dubbed as bad value for money. And then EA's dropped this one. Again, this card isn't crazy. If it gave 5-star skills, it would have been a bit more desirable, but subpar dribbling, subpar pace for a card that people are paying 400k. Bear in mind, you get that Maradona upgrade for another 100k more. It's, yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice for, I guess, Portuguese fans and Liverpool fans, but it just doesn't really seem overly meta. Again, left wing and right wing utility, not too utilised by those card stats, but again, just another really undesirable Jota SBC. One of the reasons we can see it's undesirable because arguably his best link investment, which would be Alisson, didn't rise whatsoever. So that's the wrong reasons I have him not really demanded. Another SBC we got was Carlos Alberto. It's a bit rough because his base card's 1.2 and the SBC's come out at 1.5. So unless EA is anticipating Fodder to go and crash, yeah, I'm not too fond of that SBC, and I can't imagine many people will be. It's always nice than dropping 1.2 million coin SBCs, but yeah, it's just not too desirable. Something a little bit more desirable was the new Evo we got yesterday, the complete winger. Again, that's the reason why the Leão got pumped from 40k to 60k. He is back down to 40k now, but you can see in the hype, Leão always gets hyped up with these sort of Evos. Here again, you have to go and use a left wing. They got themselves the technical, which is something I always call tactical and get absolutely butchered for it in the comment section. They get themselves a bunch of player roles. The upgrades just aren't too insane. Up to 92 pace, yeah, that's standard. 88 shooting, standard, maybe even a little bit subpar. Passing 88, dribbling 91. It almost seems a bit subpar nowadays. Weak foot gets a +2. Skill moves up to 4. It's a bit average. It's nothing too insane. Now, it's only 60k, which isn't too bad. And it's creating some nicely, some well-demanded cards. I mean, they're probably good value for money compared to maybe some of the promo ones. But we got Son coming in 90, 90 and 90, which is decent. Really, you just need, I think, 1 or 2 of the stats to be above what the limits that they can upgrade them to for them to really utilise the upgrade. But yeah, we got Son there, 4-star skills, 5-star weak foot. Card went from 150 to extinct at 250. We then got Neymar, bit of a weird one because are we going to get an end of era Neymar soon? God knows. But yeah, we got ourselves a Neymar, and yeah, goes and fits some of the minor playstyle ones, which is quite nice prior. Neymar went from, I think it was 250 to 450, which is nice. Leão, again, he goes and gets himself the tactical one, technical, whatever. And again, yeah, his card basically got pump and dumped. You can see right there, there's what we called to buy. We actually would have called to sell it, I guess, higher than the hourly average, as you can see in the screenshots, and he was back down again after that. So other popular cards, Lozano, yep, especially because, of course, his Eredivisie and Mexican links make him quite awkward to get in, although I guess he was Ultimate Succession in the first place. But yep, he goes and gets himself some nice upgrades with this. Another card that is quite interesting because Brahimi Diaz actually recently got heavily panic sold because of the Maradona SBC. Well, he's back up again, and I believe he ends up with, no, it is only going to be 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, but not too bad of a card right there. Overall, I don't know, the market didn't really have that much sell-off yesterday. The biggest drops, we're looking at the current promo cards. That's really no surprise whatsoever. Literally all the biggest meta cards that have dropped to the promo cards. We did see a drop on Alawari, I can imagine because of maybe the left wing, right wing Evo, or the Maradona. We saw him yesterday drop from 70k and he got down there to 50k. But yeah, again, the drops weren't too big. Again, we saw a drop on Rodrigo, potentially due to the right mid and striker utility, and he yesterday dropped from 140 down there to 120. We saw a Sar dropped here from 170, and she dropped all the way down there to 140. So yeah, seen drops on strikers, left wings and right wings, because they're the things that are getting replaced the most. Regarding what is up the most at the moment, it's just kind of some rare informs. It's more cards that are on a rare fluctuation than anything, but obviously we got cards like Neymar, who's fitting the recent Evo. We got Marmouche, I believe, is fitting the recent Evo. So is Lozano. Borja Sainz, I believe, is fitting the recent Evo. Maybe Ashley Cole is fitting the Evo, but yeah, just a bunch of wingers who are fitting the Evo in terms of the cards that are up the most. I don't think we're on any link investments. there we go. Now a little talk through some of the comments. Nothing too crazy, but again, if you guys do have any comments or questions, do drop them down below in the comment section. We do answer them at the end of every video. Claudio says his PlayStation 5 game crashes his PlayStation, but not the PS4 version or any other game. Now the reason for this is because the PlayStation 5 or next gen FIFA has a lot more added like animations and just other stuff in the game, and because it's got added animations, and it's almost like when you go on the trans market, the cards flicker. So interesting enough, actually, the trans market on old gen operates faster than the trans market on next gen, because next gen has all these little things in it that make it look nicer, but it puts more pressure on, I believe, the processor on your console. So that is the reason why. I presume your PlayStation's probably a little bit scuffed in the first place, so by that added pressure that the next gen games are being put on it, or at least PlayStation next gen, that is why you'll find PlayStation 5 is crashing, but not PlayStation 4. Neil asked, what is the extension? The extension that we talked about in yesterday's video was Pale Tools. You can see on my second channel, which is FLAIR's eafc tutorials, we have plenty of Pale Tool tutorials teaching you guys how to go and download it on iOS, desktop, or even on Android. And yeah, that is going to go and wrap that up. Thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.